I got a perfect shot of what I want. Let's see what I'm getting here. Moving, and I'm completely out of focus. Focus! Come on! Hello everyone, this is Magnus. Today I want to focus on the topic that I focused on last week when I made my video, and I got a lot of comments. I don't think I've ever received so many thumbs down or so many comments like I did last week, speaking about the GH5 and why I canceled my pre-order. Yes, I did cancel it, but for the video purposes, I only showed what I ordered and then just kind of neglected or deleted my order, just so I could show you guys. But in actuality, I canceled my pre-order on the GH5. Now, I wanted to hit a few reasons and basically elaborate as to why I made my decision and why I kind of stuck with my decision up until I see, what actually happens with this camera once it's released. Now, it is an awesome camera according to the specs, and I definitely have it on my radar. But I held back just yet, and in this video, I wanted to further elaborate on what I meant. Here it is. When it comes to my feelings on the GH5, some of this goes back to my previous camera purchases. A brief look at when I was interested in buying my first 4K capable camera had me comparing a couple of excellent camera bodies, the GH4 versus the Samsung NX1. Now, just looking at the specs alone, you can see that the NX1 surpasses the GH4 in many areas, including slow motion, where the NX1 records at 120 frames per second in 1080p versus the GH4, which caps out at 96 frames per second. Even Tony Northrup's video comparing the camera's autofocus, he was able to point out that the NX1 maintained focus 95% of the time during video versus just 66% of the GH4. CameraDecision.com also recommended the NX1 over the GH4. But fast forward to today, and the NX1 is rarely a talking point, besides me talking about it, of course, when compared to the long-lasting GH4. My point is, specs only make part of the story for a camera. Even though I was fully satisfied with the NX1, enough to buy a second camera body, it doesn't completely define the life of a camera as time progresses. Let's fast forward to the 5D Mark IV. This is a camera that I have not only talked about and praised in many of my videos, but I've also been somewhat critical on its features, most notably the motion JPEG codec that Canon decided to use. The 5D Mark IV was announced in late August 2016. In this time, there were many reviewers and camera commentators that got an early hands-on preview of the 5D Mark IV. I clicked on many of these videos to get an early opinion on the camera just to see if it was worth the purchase. Now, I had already known what the specs were going to be. I just wanted to see opinions. Now, honestly, all I found in the videos were the same thing. Quote-unquote reviews or comments talking about hands-on experiences with the camera, all just basically listing out the specs and how they will be great or what they can do in general, but no in-depth, honest review of the camera. There was hardly any bad comments. I understand that this partially comes from the fact that they barely get to touch the camera at this point, and the camera manufacturers keep their cameras close to the chest and don't let those that have gotten their hands on with the camera give a true analysis until the camera is released. This is important from a marketing perspective. So 5D Mark IV was praised everywhere until its release. After release, so many reviewers praised the camera for its photo-taking features and its autofocus ability, but slammed it for the JPEG codec and Canon's inability to cater to the video market. Canon had to literally defend themselves constantly for their decisions and simply state that they built a reliable camera for their customers. Now here we are today. The GH5 hasn't released yet, and we are getting the same marketing videos on early testers, quote unquote, that are praising the camera while Panasonic keeps it close to the chest. Now, I'm not saying that the GH5 won't be an excellent camera. Their features and reputation will more than likely carry this camera onto the future for many years. All I'm saying is I want to see others test out the quirks after the camera is released, so I can make a completely well-informed decision before I purchase this camera. Now, when it comes to speaking about autofocus, I received many comments. Many people stating that true professionals don't use autofocus on their cameras and that it shouldn't matter. My opinion to that is as follows. A true professional uses their tools to their fullest ability to deliver the art that they are trying to present. If the camera has several tools that make it easier to present that art, then a professional will then use those tools. There are many times when shooting that manual focus is all I can personally count on. But thanks to the dual pixel autofocus of the 5D Mark IV, when shooting fast-moving action that's unpredictable, the autofocus has been spot on and makes it easier to focus on other aspects, such as color, lighting, and the actual action that's happening in my scene. I don't call myself a professional, and I don't have to. I let my satisfied customers do that for me. There you have it. Those were my thoughts. Now let me know what you think and if you are going to pre-order this camera. I probably will order it, more than likely, but not until I see the full reviews. And that is my point that I wanted to hit. But let me know what you got to say. Hit that like, hit that share, thumbs up or thumbs down. I mean, you guys have the right to your opinions and I appreciate it, and it drives me to make more and more of these videos. And as always, you can make my day if you subscribe today. This is Magnus and I'm out. Take care.